Hey everybody, today I have my 1999 Mercury Mountaineer that has a V8, 5.0 V8. We got it up in the air, and there's the 5.0 liter V8. The water pump's leaking, so we're gonna get the water pump changed on the car. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get the car up in the air, and we're going to drain the coolant out of the car. I'll come back and show you. Well, I'll just give you a quick look. Underneath this car, it's got this big plastic shield right here. It's held on by some bolts. We're going to take this plastic shield off, and then you can get right to the drain, start draining the coolant. I'm not going to show you draining the coolant, but we're going to drain the coolant out of it first thing. All right, I'll go ahead and show it. Like I said, you take this plastic piece off. There's 4 bolts in it, here, here, and here. Then you just pull this down, and then G Junior is unscrewing the radiator drain. So let's take a look. Okay. Oop. Make a mess? Yeah, make a mess. All right, don't worry about it, just let it go. I thought these things actually had like a drain, but there you go. Yep. That is the life of a mechanic right there. Draining fluids, they go all over the place. All right, well, we're gonna finish draining all the coolant out of it, and then we'll let it down and start getting the fan off and get the water pump, and we're gonna clean this up. Alrighty, since we made a complete mess, we have put towels down. Hate cat litter, stay dry. Hate it. So now, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have to get the fan off. The fan has a big nut and it unscrews from the water pump. So to figure out which way the fan comes off, because it could be left-handed thread or it could be right-handed thread. You never know. So since we have the new water pump, we can easily take and put your thumbnail in there and then rotate the pump to see if your thumbnail unscrews or screws in. So my thumbnail is unscrewing. So that means this is normal right-handed thread because you turn it counterclockwise to get the fan off. So you're going to need the fan clutch wrenches, which we have. That goes down on top of the fan. It barely fits on this car. And then we also have the other wrench that holds the bolts. So we might have to rotate this around. So, it's pretty tight. Here, can you hold that one down? Okay, it is not coming.
You are overpowering me.
Yeah, I'm overpowering you. Okay, so if that doesn't work, we don't have the other style, but we will. Can you bring it? Yep, ready?
Yeah.
Did it go or did I slip? Here, let me go for a second. Let me see here. Can we? You slipped. Hold that, please. Let me have that again. Let's try to hook it. Okay. All right, let's try to squeeze this together. Ready? Oh man, it's really in there good. All right, we might have to heat up the fan clutch to get it out. This one's extremely tight. We need all of our hands. So when we get the fan clutch off, we'll come back and show you. All right, with the fan clutch, we put it in a different position, and then G Junior held it while I smacked on the hammer. And as you can see now, the nut down there is spinning. So we got the fan shroud loose. I mean, not the fan shroud, the fan clutch loose off the water pump. So we'll just go ahead and you got to unscrew this very slowly. He went ahead and pulled the air boot out so we can get this hose out so we can get the fan shroud out. That's next step. Let's go ahead and get this bolt out here and this bolt out over here. And let's get this upper hose off because you don't want the fan to fall off the water pump and smack into the radiator. You want to gently set it against the radiator. Let's get the hose off. Get that bolt out. Let's get the hose off. Okay, so there the fan clutch is just sitting. It's just sitting there.
The hose?
The hose, yeah. Let's go ahead and take the hose off there.
Okay.
Oh, well, while you're doing that, I'll get the other bolt, the other fan shroud bolt out here. All right, another fan shroud bolt. Fan shroud bolt. Did you take the fan shroud bolt out on this side?
No.
Oh, he's wrenching it, okay.
Ooh, looks like something rubbing right there.
Yeah. All right, gonna have to get a socket for that one because I can't get the screwdriver in there. Let's 8mm. Do you have? Is this is the 3/8, right?
Yeah.
Where's quarter? Give me a quarter. All right. Always. All right. Let's get in there. That should be loose enough. All right, let's get this hose off. All right, we're gonna probably reuse that hose, so get it on out of here. Now you can see that the water pump is red, the timing cover's red, this is red. My brother E-Boy powder coated everything for me because I have done this water pump like 10 years ago, and the bolts that go through, the long bolts that go through the water pump and the timing cover were frozen, and I had to actually cut the timing cover off to get the water pump off. So hopefully this time that is not going to be the case because I have put anti-seed all over everything. So here, let me hand you the camera. I'm gonna grab the fan, and we're gonna lift up on the fan shroud. And then there is the fan and the fan shroud. Now, when you put this, when you put it together, you're gonna have to put it back together like that. You know, we probably should think about getting a fan for it. See how it's cracking up?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get a fan for it. But we'll continue on with the water pump. All right, so before we take the belt off, we're going to take these bolts loose. You want to get I don't know what size they are, 11s? They possibly are. Yes.
No, they're 13s.
They're 13s? Okay. I don't know, you sure they're 13s?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I guess you're right, they are 13s. Yep.
You know, the belt's going to spin, but...
All right, go. All right, stop.
No.
All right, let's here, grab the camera. Let me grab a 13 shallow. And this. All right, let's see if we can just. Oh yeah, they do not want to come out of there. All right, hold on. We'll use the fan clutch tool to hold the bolts. All right, I'm gonna have to swing in this way. There's that one. There's that one. There's that one. Okay, just keep the camera going. All right, so we got all the bolts on the water pump pulley loose, and now we're going to take the tensioner loose. It's a 15 millimeter. Of course, I have a special tool for this also. That goes there. Of course, I went the wrong way the first time and loosened the bolt. So I'm gonna have to be sure I get this bolt retightened. So now you can just pop the belt off, take the tool off, belt comes off. Like I said, since I've done this water pump 10 years ago, hopefully everything's gonna come off nice and easy. There's the water pump pulley. Okay, you're just rolling, right? You're rolling. Let's keep rolling on it. Okay, this is the bypass hose. This is one of the heater hoses. All right, got those loose. All right, here we have my radiator protector. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one in here or not. It's always a good idea to try to protect your radiator when you're doing jobs. Bend it, twist it, whatever you have to do. Now the radiator's protected, and I'll just come in here with my hand and push it back. Actually, what I think maybe I'll do is gotta get a bungee cord. I'll hook it to the bottom of the radiator and up and around, and there. So there. So now the radiator's protected. All right, we got that clamp loose, that clamp loose. Let's go ahead. I usually take this off just because it gets in the way.
I think you need a new one.
Well, we'll check the
because it's going like this.
Well, I think that's an optical. Well, it might be bent. As long as the bearing's okay. But we're gonna take this off just to give us more room, because now we can get down to the bolts a little easier. Well, got a little bit of noise, but not bad. All right, there's that. Now on this one here, it's got this wire harness that pushes onto the bolts right here. Can you see that? So I have to pry. There. So yeah, it's just a wire harness. It goes up to something wire harness. It's had another, yep, and then there's another one right here. All right. So that's out of the way. Then there's one over here also. There's that one. get a hook tool. Hook tool. We're going to try to get underneath this bypass hose. Yeah, see, I could have hit the radiator right there when I slipped. So that's why I like putting the radiator protector in the way. I don't know, we might have to wait until we drop the water pump down to get those to slide out all the way. I don't want to break the hoses. All right, sorry about that, I had a phone call. G Junior went ahead and got the lower hose taken off, and then I went ahead and popped the bypass hose off. Here is the bypass hose. So what I did is I just used my pry bar and was able to get underneath it and pry it up. Here, I'm gonna do that heater hose next. So I should be able to get this pry bar underneath here and just, yep, pry it off. All right, there's the heater hose. Heater hose is out of the way. And now we just need to start taking the bolts out. Now, when I take and do this, I always take the new pump and set the new pump somewhere so we can put the bolts exactly where they belong, so we know, because you never know what size bolts go where, but if you do it this way, you know what size bolts go where. All right, so I think all of them are 13. I think they might, or are they bigger? 13, all right, so that one goes right here. All right. Now, you can see this bolt here. See how wet this bolt is? And the reason, that's why I put a ton of anti-seize on here. You can still see the anti-seize there to keep the bolts from freezing in the timing cover. That one goes there. I also do believe when I put these bolts in, I put thread sealer on it, but it doesn't look like the thread sealer held. So that one goes there. This one's kind of stuck in here. That one's kind of messy. That one goes there. Let me get an extension. That's too long of an extension. Let's try this one. Okay, there's that one. Here, let's switch sides. I don't think I need the extension anymore for these. Stupid wires in the way. No, don't touch yet. Don't touch yet.
Felt like it's gonna...
It shouldn't fall off the gasket. Should be holding it. So there's that one. That one doesn't want to come out yet. There's that one. There it is. There it is. See? And there is your old water pump. Yeah, see how water leaked in and started corroding this? That's why I put tons of anti-seize on all these bolts. So this one comes out. So now the next thing that's going to happen is, let's see. This gasket looks like it came pretty much off of this in one piece. So we're going to go ahead and get in here and we're going to clean off this, which looks pretty clean. We're going to clean this all off. G Junior is going to go over to the grinder and he's going to use the wire wheel with safety glasses on and clean up all these bolts. So he doesn't need the new water pump. So we'll go ahead and transfer all the bolts back into the old water pump. So I can get the new water pump gasket glued on. All right, so he's going to take this water pump over to the grinder and then clean up all these bolts nice and pretty. We'll put some Teflon tape on them. Then we'll put a whole bunch of anti-seize on them to try to keep them from seizing in the water in the timing cover. Like I said, last time I had to do this, I had to take all the power steering stuff off, this stuff off, because the bolts actually broke and I had to cut the timing cover off. So this is a fairly new timing cover, even though it doesn't look like it because we did it like 10 years ago. All right, we're going to go ahead and get all the bolts cleaned and this gasket cleaned and get it bolt back together. All right, we got the new water pump gasket glued on. We used a little general adhesive to hold the gasket on. G Junior wire wheeled all the bolts, and now we are putting Teflon tape on all the threads. There he is putting Teflon tapes on another one. Don't pile it up too much, but that's all right. All right, so we're going to do all that, and then we'll get the pump back on here. All right, there's that one.
This one too?
Yeah, just do them all.
Just do them all.
Just do them all. You need practice on doing Teflon tape anyway. I think you've already, you're getting it. So yeah, the easiest thing to know is like, because if you wrap it the wrong way, it comes unwrapped when you're putting the bolt in. So you don't have to straighten it out. So you always start at the bottom and then you wrap it like you're tightening the bolt. There you go. All right. All right, so we're doing the bolts. We got the gasket over here. I got the light cut off, but let's see. I got in here and I cleaned the surface area off and used some brake clean and wiped everything down. Went down there with the mirror that I keep losing. Here's the mirror. I made sure that it was clean. And I just used a yellow cookie wheel very lightly because there was not a lot of gasket left on it. Alrighty, well, you know something? Most people aren't going to watch any more of the video of putting it all back together. So we're going to go ahead and get it all back together, and I'll show you what it looks like when we have it running. Alrighty, G Junior cleaned up all the bolts. We put Teflon tape on all the bolts. As you can see here, actually all the bolts, I have put a liberal amount of anti-seize in case we have to do this again. So now all we have to do is tighten up all the bolts. I don't know what the torque is on the bolts, but we want to make sure that we have them all started before we tighten everything down to make sure everything is going, which it looks like it is. So I think I'm going to leave this one in here. So we're going to go ahead and tighten up the water pump, put the belt back on, put the fan shroud, all the hoses back on, fill it up with coolant, and we'll be done. I think I'll leave it here. Nobody ever watches to the end of the videos anyway, so we'll go ahead and stop this one here. So that's how you get the water pump out of these. Now I'll warn you that if you have one that has 200,000 miles on it, these bolts here are going to seize up in the timing cover, and most likely you have to take all this stuff off and cut the timing cover off and replace the timing cover because you won't be able to get the bolts out. All right, everybody, thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe. You can always do that in that corner. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my automotive videos. All right, we're gonna get this lower hose off next, and then we'll come back.